The other day, a lady wrote a comment on the video that I had done about St. Padre Pio and how many rosaries he prayed every day. He prayed up to 20 entire rosaries daily, which is all the mysteries, the joyful, sorrowful, and glorious in those days, because now we have the Psalter Plus, we have the luminous mysteries that we can add on to this. But the traditional Psalter, he prayed 20 of those daily. And she was saying how for her it doesn't seem possible to be able to keep track. How do you keep track of that many rosaries? How do you know where you're at? And how is it even possible to stay focused when you're going about doing other things? And yesterday evening, in Divine Providence, I fell upon my book, The Secret of the Rosary by St.Louis, Marie Grignion de Montfort. And in this book, he has a chapter for 50 roses, so for the chaplet. The whole Psalter has the 150 roses, and the Psalter Plus has the 200 roses for Mother Mary. And what I fell upon last night was the 45th rose chapter, and I'll try to read it for all of you. Saying the Rosary with Reverence is the title of it. So he says, I should like to add that the Rosary ought to be said with reverence. As far as possible, we should be kneeling with our hands joined and clasping the beads. I had also heard once that holding the beads is like holding Mother Mary's hand. So I go on. However, the sick can say it in bed. People on the road, either walking or driving, can say it in the car or while walking. And those who are unable to kneel can say it while sitting or standing. The Rosary can also be said while working, when we have things that cannot be set aside. Manual work is not always incompatible with vocal prayer. He goes on to say, since the soul has its limitation and we can do only so much when we are concentrating on manual work, we cannot give our undivided attention to things of the Spirit, such as prayer. Yet, in time of need, this kind of prayer is not without merit in the eyes of the Blessed Virgin, who rewards our good will more than our external actions. Mother Mary is so merciful. The smallest effort on our part to love her, because we want to love Jesus, she rewards that 1,000-fold. So I continue. He says, I advise you to divide your rosary into 3 parts and to say the 5 decades of each part at different times of the day. It is better to divide it than to say all 15 decades at once. If you cannot find the time to say a third part of the rosary at one time, say it gradually, a decade here and a decade there. I assure you that in spite of your work, you will have said the whole rosary before going to bed. Now we have been given the luminous mysteries from our Holy Mother Church, so we can always do the Psalter Plus every day, which is, like I said, the 200 roses from Mother Mary, because each Hail Mary is a mystical rose that is placed upon her head like a crown. And when we pray the Hail Mary, our lips are maybe saying the words of the angelic salutation, but Mary hears, Mary and Jesus, they hear, I love you, over and over. So we shouldn't get discouraged if we can't stay super concentrated all the time on the mysteries. It's the goodwill that matters. And we just want to love Mother Mary and Jesus with all our hearts.